Hey everyone, it's Keri from Keri's Book Corner, and today I want to go over with you guys my personal favorites from the catalog. We have over 2,000 titles, so it's very difficult for me to choose, but I have narrowed it down to a selection of books that I love and I love to talk about. So chances are this video may be a little long. My apologies ahead of time. All right, let's start off with the baby's very first touchy-feely animals playbook. Why do I love this? I love this book because it has great tactile features and the finger trails in it, but absolutely no flaps. I think it's important for little ones to get their hands all over the pages, but the flaps they terrify me for little ones because they naturally will rip them off. But I like that it has the tactile sensory patches and the finger trails, so they can still touch everything, but there are no flaps. So my personal favorite is the baby's very first touchy-feely animals playbook. Once they get a little bit older and are not eating things anymore, I absolutely adore these My Wild Animal World books. They are fantastic for learning and playing. There are 9 little books in each one of these cases, and I love that they can be stacked. You can stack them up like little blocks. They have very thick pages, so they're great for little fingers to get a hold of, but they are still kind of cardboard. They're meant for 2-year-old plus, so you definitely don't want to give them to your kiddos unless they are done eating things. So there are lots of color. You can go over colors with them with these, and they're also like a puzzle because they have to put the books back, or they should put the books back in the spot that they go within the box. So I absolutely love these. There's a magnetic enclosure on them. So there's My Wild Animal World. There's My First 100 Words, I Can Count, and My Farm Animal World. All of these sets are $12.99 each, and you get the 9 little books inside of them and all of the wonderful possible learning experiences with them as well. Next up, I can't talk enough about these. I have these wherever we go. These are the Wipe Clean activity packs. So this is Travel Doodles, this is 100 Things for Little Children to Do on a Trip, and this is Animal Doodles. This one right here is 100 Things for Little Kids to Do on a Trip. And so what I do, you get 50 cards in each one of these packs, and I take it out, I hole punch the corner of it, I put it on a binder ring, and then I always have it with me wherever we go. There's 50 cards. All I need is a Wipe Clean marker to go with them. It's portable. They can have it on their lap when we're at a doctor's appointment or at a restaurant or in the car. It fits nicely in the pocket within the car. So this is just a fabulous activity for them to be able to do that they can actually keep on their lap as well. So it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Next up are the sound books. I really loved when they came out with the sound books last year. These are 2 of my favorites. This is the first book about the orchestra, and this is Jungle Sounds. I love them because they have the on-off switch, so you can never run out of well, you're going to run out of batteries because they're awesome, but you won't run out of them as often as you would with previous sound books. I also love them because there's no sounds along the right-hand side anymore. So Usborne has decided that it's more important that the child listen to the story, instead of just push all the buttons along the right-hand side and not pay attention to the story. So they're going to read the story, and then they're going to find the little sensory patches here that have the sounds in them. And they're great sounds. So there are 2 sounds on every single page that they have to find. I love the orangutan. That was my favorite. And then the same is true for the orchestra book. This one takes you piece by piece through the different components of the orchestra, and so they can hear the different families playing. And then at the very end of the piece, there's a QR code, and you can scan it, and it will take you to like a 3.5-minute YouTube video of an actual orchestra playing the Brahms piece that was featured throughout this book with the different families within the orchestra. So very cool learning books, very cool sound books. Next up is the step-by-step drawing books. I absolutely adore these because I'm a terrible artist. And I love them because they get to keep their drawings all in one space. So it teaches them step-by-step how to draw different things, and then they have all of this white space to be able to practice their drawing creations. So my kids like these books as well, and I like them because all of the drawings are here, and then I don't have papers kind of all over my house of all of their drawings. There are 4 of those books. That one's my favorite though, just the normal step-by-step drawing book. This one I absolutely love. This is the complete book of art ideas. This is a combined volume book. It combines arts ideas, art skills, and art projects, which used to be 3 different books, and now it's all in one. So this will take you through all kinds of different art projects and the art history of different things and give you a step-by-step of how to make different pieces of art. And so this is a crafter's dream and an art child's dream because they get the history of everything, they get new ideas of things to be able to do and make, and then they get the step-by-step to actually make their projects. So very, very cool book. Next up is my absolute favorite body book. This is Look Inside Your Body. Our Look Inside books are absolutely fantastic. This is the size of them all. They're for ages 5+, and I just absolutely love them. They're nonfiction, but they're flap books, and I absolutely love the fact that they are flap, within flap, within flap. So you really, really get an intricate look at what is inside the human body with this book. So there are lots and lots of pages. They're very, very thick, so you're going to have lots of information. It's chunked into small sections and matched up with exactly what the flap is that it talks about, so the kiddos are going to retain that information really well. Another favorite flap book of mine is Lift the Flap General Knowledge. This is a Q&A book as well, but basically there's just a ton of trivia in here that is in flap form. So it is written at an older readability, I would say 6-7+. Tons and tons of fact in here. You could basically make an entire trivia night based on the facts that are in this book. And I learn something new every time I look at it with my kids. And then we have the See Inside book. This is the flap series that's a little bit for older kids over the Look Inside book that we just looked at. And this one is See Inside How Things Work. So this one, it takes kids through all of the different machines and how they actually work. So this one is also a flap book, and again with the chunks of information matched up to the picture, helps them to retain the knowledge because they're actually doing something while they are opening the flaps for these books. So I cannot speak highly enough about those flap books. Next up is writing. So we are not just a reading company. We actually produce writing books as well, and I love this one. This is the Creative Writing Book. It takes kids all the way through the learning process of learning how to write. It talks about plot and character development and setting development. It teaches them how to write blog posts and how to write different genres of different writing. It teaches them how to do poetry and all kinds of different things, but in a fun and just in a fun way. And it is one that they can keep. It's on a spiral in here, so they can actually keep all of their writings for years to come because it's in a hardback format as well. So just a fantastic. I love that writing book. We are absolutely known for our Wipe Clean books. Along with our Wipe Clean cards, we are known for the educational Wipe Clean books. My favorite 4, these are the top 4 for me. These are the ones that I talk about the most. Wipe Clean Writing Numbers, Wipe Clean Capital Letters, Wipe Clean Lowercase Letters, and Wipe Clean Ready for Writing. Why do I love them? Ready for Writing. I love Ready for Writing because every page is a different skill. This one is about squares and rectangles. This one is about curves and hooks. This one's about triangles and zigzags. So there's a specified shape on every single page for this particular book. So this is great for their fine motor as they're learning how to pick up a pencil or a pen and actually apply it. And then at the end, it actually goes through all of the lowercase letters as well. Absolutely love this one for ages 3+. Then you have the lowercase and the uppercase and the writing numbers, and I love them because you get some systematic help on where to start the letter, and then you also get a real world example in every single one of the pages for each one of the letters and numbers. So same with the uppercase, it's the exact same format where you go through the different letters and there's a real world example of where you could find it. And the numbers is great because it doesn't just go up to 10. This one actually goes all the way up to 20, which is a kindergarten standard. So I love this book. I love that it goes all the way up there. It has the number line down at the bottom for them to be able to recognize and work on those individual numbers. All right, lastly, I've got a couple more books. This is my all-time favorite book. This is the Complete Book of Farmyard Tales. It has 20 stories from Apple Tree Farm and a CD in it, and it retails for $24.99, which is fantastic for 20 stories. It is a dual reader, and so there are 2 series of texts. There's one at the top, one at the bottom. The one at the top is for easier reading. The one at the bottom is for the parent, or as the child gets older, they can then read it on their own. So it's great. It's a shared reading experience. There's a lovely little satin bookmark to keep their place, and it's all about the adventures and characters on Apple Tree Farm. My kiddos also love it because it's illustrated by Stephen Cartwright, so there's a little duck to find on every single page. So I highly, highly recommend the Complete Book of Farmyard Tales if you're looking for some snuggles as you are reading with your kiddos. And then when your kids get a little bit older, and they want to actually hear some stories before bedtime, I highly, highly recommend these 2 books as great bedtime readers for kids, and even for older kids for, independently reading. This one I would say is definitely geared more towards little girls. It has The Railway Children, The Wizard of Oz, The Secret Garden, Black Beauty, Little Women, and Heidi in it. They're all abridged versions, so they're all appropriate for kids. And these books are for ages 8+. So still lots and lots of great illustrations in these books. And then the satin ribbon to keep their place. It's a padded hardback too. And then the last one is definitely geared towards little boys. On the same for Illustrated Classics, they get Robin Hood, Gulliver's Travels, Moonfleet, Around the World in 80 Days, Robinson Crusoe, and The Canterville Ghost. So these are fantastic little stories. They're great for bedtime reading, but they do involve chapters, so they're for a little bit older kids. And then as they get older themselves and are independently reading, these are great for 3rd, 4th graders to read to themselves before bed at night. So those are my top choices of all of the books in our catalog. It's very hard for me to decide on that, but I hope that helped. Thanks, you guys. Bye.